Hello, my name is Steve Beecroft. I'm a board member of the Curtain Theatre and have been involved in it for over 10 years. I wanted to welcome you and encourage you to go to the curtaintheatre.org website to see some of the things that we're preparing for you about our summer show, which is William Shakespeare's Twelfth Night. In these troubled times, it's difficult. We're all having to shelter at home, but we wanted to bring our supporters behind the scenes, so to speak, to meet some of the key people in our company who make these shows happen. And one of those people is my guest today. His name is Mr. Nic Meredith. Hello, Nic.
Hi, Steve. Great to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Now, Nic, you joined our company 3 years ago. How did that come about?
Well, Steve, you had a dagger at my throat at the time, but once I got you to remove it, I heartily agreed to join in the fun. It was actually a show called The Miser at the time, which was very funny. It was not by Shakespeare, of course. It was by Molière, and it was the most amazing first experience I had. I'd actually been to a couple of shows in previous years, but maybe just for 5 or 10 minutes as I was passing through, because I had no idea they were a summer feature here in Mill Valley. So I was very happy through you to be invited, and here I am.
Yeah. And so you've been part of the shows for The Miser, for Henry IV, Part 1, which I directed, and then last year's show, The Merry Wives of Windsor. And you'll be involved, of course, in this year's show, which is Twelfth Night. Now, Nic, you have several hats here. You've been our front of house manager, and I want to get into that in a second. And you've just been brought into the board as treasurer as well. So let's go to the first role of house manager. What does that involve?
Well, that is a multifaceted role. Essentially, it's to make sure that the audience behaves themselves. When I say that, it's really behave themselves as in have fun, but also know where they need to go and sit, to give people an orientation to this natural amphitheatre that we have in Mill Valley, and to be able to sit anywhere they please on rugs, which we provide for them if they haven't brought them with their family, to have a glass of wine or some food as they watch the show, and just to generally prepare them for the extravaganza that is about to be presented to them in this wonderful tradition now in Mill Valley to put on free Shakespeare in the park.
And I know, because I'm always out there at the beginning of shows playing with the audience and having fun. I'm in full costume, and I know you're doing the same from your role as front of house.
Yes, I think one year, it was the Henry IV Part 1 year, there was live sword fighting with real live steel swords. So it was actually fairly dangerous, and it was only my second show, and I had to put on a high visibility vest and tape off a lot of the auditorium so that people didn't get hurt. Luckily, everyone was completely safe, and it was an extremely adventurous show to put on, and it went down extremely well. The sword fighting was very, very real, and certainly got all of the younger members in the crowd very engaged in the true artistry of William Shakespeare, not only in his words, but also his action. Indeed.
And you run the snack bar as well, right?
Yes, that's one of the unenviable tasks I have to do. The 15-minute break, which is just a total mayhem as people stretch their legs and get comfortable. They want to get a nice cup of coffee or a cool glass of water. We do offer food and beverages at this break in the middle. It gives the actors a few moments to catch their breath and to maybe change some costumes. There is music playing by our wonderful band, and during the 15 minutes, there's usually a long lineup of parents and kids wanting to buy a muffin or a cup of coffee or something like that.
Right. Now, one of the things, of course, being a member of the Curtain Theatre, it's all hands on deck. So for our supporters, when you go by and you see the banner out there at the corner of Throckmorton and Cascade, Mr. Nic has put that up. He's always involved in breaking down the set. At the end of the performances, he's out there with his electronic tools, and we all work at getting that done. So it's all hands on. Now, your new role is as treasurer. Tell us what's involved in that.
Well, yes. I mean, it's treasure and in some aspects fundraising as well. The essence of what we do is we're a charity and we exist solely on the generous donations of the public and some close members who've come to know and love us. And many years they have offered us their donations for covering the cost of stage and costumes, the set design, etc., etc. But none of that goes to the snack bar or anything like that. That is all done, again, by donation from the members of the public who come to the show. So my job is to help the inflow, but also be fully accountable for what we do as a charity and report that to Uncle Sam when he needs to know what's been going on.
Indeed, very important task there. Now, I know in the programs, you once listed in there that you run the snack bar and you better be careful because I'm a bit of a scallywag. What do you mean by that?
Well, it's an interesting word. There are some English versions and some American versions, but why I mean it is truly the English version. And a scallywag is somebody who behaves badly, but you really like them, so you can't find it difficult to be angry with them. So I put on this persona when I'm welcoming people to their seats. I tease them a lot. I ask them silly questions. If there's something I can think of that's in character with the play that's coming up that they'll be seeing, I'll mention that, and I'll try and teach them a bit of English at the same time.
A bit of English, you know what I mean, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, Nic, thank you so much for joining us. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be interviewing other people on here and put these videos on our website for you to go and look at. There's already a video there of Michelle Delatre, our director for Twelfth Night, talking about her artistic vision for the play. It's got a sneak peek of some music, which our leader of the band, Don Clark, has written. He always writes music for this. You'll see things probably on choreography. You'll probably see some scenes where we talk to actors, how they come to their character and actually perform some of those. But we wanted to begin with this interview with Mr. Nic, who's so important to our company. So Nic, thank you for joining us today.
You're very welcome, and I look forward to seeing every one of you in those seats very soon.
All right. Take care. Thanks, everybody.
Ever searching for my dear. Ever searching for my dear.